We're standing now on Mount Scopus. Mount Scopus, and this is the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. The Hebrew University of Jerusalem was founded here in 1928, and near the university they built here the Hadassah Hospital of Jerusalem. It was the first modern hospital inside Jerusalem, and till 48, the people from West Jerusalem that wanted to go to the university or to the hospital, they came here, and they had to cross this Arab neighborhood in their way here, and there was no problem till the 29th of November 1947. After that day, when the Arabs in this area realized that the state of Israel is going to be established here, they tried to cut all the roads inside Israel, and there was a convoy of doctors and nurses in the way from West Jerusalem to the hospital here, and in the way they were in 3 buses, and when they crossed this neighborhood here, Sheikh Jarrah, some Palestinians tried to hit them, and they stopped them in the way. They throw cocoa bottles on them, they shoot toward them. They were not armed, so they couldn't answer it, and 72 nurses and doctors were murdered in this terror attack. So they closed here the hospital and the university till 67. In the 48 war, this area, this mountain, stayed as an Israeli enclave. It was surrounded by the Jordanian army, but the mountains itself stayed part of Israel. And according to the agreement between Israel and Jordan, the ceasefire agreement, Israel was allowed to have here 70 policemen, not soldiers, only policemen on this mountain. So of course we had here soldiers that were dressed like policemen, and they were changing every 2 weeks, but it was a great problem how to protect this mountain. After the 67 war, the government of Israel wanted to connect this mountain to West Jerusalem. So they built new neighborhoods of Jerusalem that will connect this mountain to West Jerusalem. And in the middle, they built these houses. These are governmental offices where you see the flag there. The 2 flags you can see there. This is the headquarters of the police of Israel, and there are some ministries in this area because they want to connect the area, connect the mountain to West Jerusalem. But if this mountain will be connected to Jerusalem, it will cut the connection of these Arab neighborhoods to Ramallah. So in this small area between the mountain here and West Jerusalem, between this neighborhood here, Wadi Joz and Shuafat, there is a war between Jewish organizations and Arab Palestinian organizations that they want to have more and more Jewish houses or Arab houses, because they think that when we'll come to the agreement, this area will be decided if it will be Jewish or Arab. It will be part of Israel or part of Palestine. Well, when we are talking about future formulas, how to solve the Jerusalem problem, really there are 2 main formulas. One formula was put on the table in Camp David in 2000. This formula says, we call it President Clinton formula. President Clinton formula, the idea is that all the Jewish neighborhoods in East Jerusalem will be part of Israel. All the Arab neighborhoods in East Jerusalem will be part of Palestine. But what to do with the ancient city of Jerusalem? So he said that the ancient city of Jerusalem have to be cut. The Jewish quarter and the Armenian quarter will be part of Israel, and the Christian quarter and the Muslim quarter will be part of Palestine. And there was an argument what to do with the Armenian quarter, but what to do with the Temple Mountain. So he suggested that what is above the ground will be Palestine, and what is underground will be Israel. Well, it's very, very you can see that we cannot do it. Today on the ground, you see that it's a very crowded area. People cannot live with such lines. You cannot cut Jerusalem. You cannot divide the life inside the ancient city of Jerusalem. So in 2008, when we had the Annapolis Process negotiations, there was another formula that was put on the table. The formula was called the Holy Basin or the Ancient Basin. The idea was that we will declare an area that we will include the ancient city of Jerusalem, Mount Olives, and the churches around, and this area include even Mount Zion there. This area will be a special area, a special case. In this area, there will be a special regime, and it will be a shared regime between Israel, Palestine, and other three Arab countries. That this area will be under a special control, that Israelis can come here, Palestinians come there, and we can live with it and leave the question about sovereignty to the end. Or there was even some people that says leave the sovereignty to God. We said it will be a shared sovereignty in this area. It's okay, but that was the idea. As you know, in the negotiations in Annapolis Process, we had there more than 300 meetings with the Palestinian side. There were a lot of committees, shared committees between the sides, but we cannot get to the agreement. In the last moment, Prime Minister Ehud Olmert made an offer to the Palestinians. He made a special offer that it was like a closed bargain. Everything was inside. He suggested the Palestinian solution to all the problems. There were maps there were answers about the refugees problem, about the territorial issues, the security issues. Everything was in that bargain. But he said, he showed it to Abu Mazen, and he said to Abu Mazen, this is one note paper. Take it or leave it. We are not going to negotiate because I gave you the maximum. We cannot negotiate anymore. Take it or leave it. We are in a historical moment. I am going to leave my office in 3 weeks. You are going to have an election. At that time, we thought that the Palestinians will have elections in 20 of January 2009. They didn't have it till today, and the President of the United States have to be changed at the same day. But he said to Abu Mazen, see, we are in a historical moment. This moment will not come back. Take it, because it's our opportunity that we will be the leaders of the peace. We will be the leaders that will take this area to the new horizon. But unfortunately, Abu Mazen said to Prime Minister Olmert, I don't know to read maps. I have to take it to my men and talk with them. Tomorrow I'll give you an answer. He didn't come back. And it's so pity, because we were just a moment from just so short from this time that we can have a real agreement between the sides. Now we are so far from that moment, because what happened in both sides, that both sides went to the extremes and not to the middle. So today it's very problematic to come back to the same place. Israel is not offering that anymore. The Palestinians became extreme more than that, and it's not easy to come back to the same point. But, as you know, there is no other way. We have to find a way to come back to the negotiations, because we cannot solve the problem in any other way. The time is against Israel, the time is against the Palestinians. The Palestinians live in very bad conditions, the Israelis have their security problems. It doesn't help both sides. So there is a great hope. From my point of view, and I am today a free man, I am not part of any organization, of any political groups. I really believe that it's the interest of both sides to come back to the negotiation table, and everyone have to give something to the peace, because it's for both people. I know that something is happening all the time around us. The extreme Islam is coming from the north. In Sinai, nobody knows what's going on there. Maybe even part of ISIS is there. In the Arab world, there are a lot of changing. But the Israelis and the Palestinians are together in the same problem. And the only way to get out from this problem is to sit together and find a solution. It won't be easy for both sides, because for Israeli leader to say I'm giving up something, he has to show that we are getting something for it. That if we are ready to give up lands or to give up something, we have to show the people that they will get security for that. They will get a lot of things that Israel can live with it. The Palestinian leaders have to understand that if they want their own state, they have to give up something. And to give up something is not easy for them. It's not easy for them, for their own people. It's not easy for them, for the leaders themselves. Because if you're giving up something, you risk your life. It's very easy to be the leader of the revolution, to say that everything is because Israel is doing that and Israel is doing the other thing. But really, if you want to have your own state, and the Palestinians could have it, we were there for 3 times, they could have it a lot of other times, that they can have their own state. So they are taking up the flag of we want to have our own state, but really there are a lot of other concerns that they have to take in account. And the leaders themselves, I think that the current leaders in the Palestinian side, and even I'm not sure about our side, are not ready for getting to peace in the right time or in our time. Maybe it will be in some years, but every day that we are not there is against our interest. It's against the Palestinian interest. So if you're looking from the rational point of view, from outside, you are looking about this problem, you say, why they are going to such a crazy thing? They are killing each other, and both sides don't get any benefit from it. If they want to go to win-win solution, they have to sit together, and there is a practical solution. Daniel wrote it, I drew it, and we know how it will be. There will be, really, there will be very small changes. There will be very small changes. But both sides have to be ready for it. Both sides have to be ready to give up something. The last thing about the negotiation. We are talking about practical solutions. The Palestinians talk all the time about their rights. They don't want to get to the practical solutions. And therefore, we have to find a way to be on the same stage, talk to each other, We have to talk with them about their rights as well as we are not doing it. They have to talk about our rights and to recognize our rights. And today, the Palestinians are changing the history. Most of the Palestinians believe that the temple wasn't here. It's all fake stories, Israeli stories, and as they are changing the history in their mind, it will be extreme, and I don't know when they'll come back to the way that we can have negotiation and agreement between the two sides. Questions?